of that. So I love tech. I see myself as a tech fan, and I like to encourage many people to get into tech because tech is interesting and it's actually the new norm now. Um, if you if you listen carefully to the first talk we had on demystifying artificial intelligence, we're in the generation of 4IR. So we're in the time of 4IR. So a lot of things are going to run on tech, run on artificial intelligence, run on automation, run on efficiency. And the beautiful thing about tech is that it it um, it integrates with all study, with all fields, actually, with all industries. So it makes us more of a rounded person. So even though I have my background in computer science, as I grow in my career, I've seen that I should be able to work in many fields. And the same thing with you as well. So the new world, the new norm does not box you into a particular field. You could have read agricultural science and you're able to apply tech in agricultural science. And then that makes you of very good skill. So always see tech as a valuable skill that is also good as an add-on. The very technical people are needed, which is good. People who can code, people who can do stuff. But at the same time, the people in arts, the people in general knowledge and all that, they're also needed because it is now more like a rounded situation, more like, okay, whatever skill you've got, you need to be able to layer it on tech. So you need to be able to understand IT, the way IT works. And that way you can even, you can also become a tech giant yourself by applying your own domain knowledge. So now we don't call it specialization alone, we call it domain knowledge. So you are in this, you were trained in this background, you have expertise in this background, in a particular background, maybe agricultural science, like I mentioned earlier. You have expertise in that background. Now you can use the expert knowledge you've gotten by way of formal training, maybe university education or the likes. You can use that formal knowledge to be able to develop efficient methods and tools within that space, right? So tech skill is actually very important for everyone. And I want to encourage you to be open to knowledge and, take on the challenge of, adding one or two tech skills to whatever knowledge you have now. And I'm happy you've come this far to join this training class. And I know it's going to be good value for your time. So we're going to move quickly, but before I move into my talk of today, talk and answer actually of today, I would like to have an overview of the class. So I would ask each one of you to unmute and just tell me your name and your background. Yes, your name, your background, your interests. Let's keep it short. So your name, your background, as what you study or what you're currently doing, and then your interest, what interests you, what excites you. Yeah, so just keep it short that way. That can give me some overview of the profile of the people in the class and can help me to better channel the knowledge I'll be passing on to you during the course of the training. Thank you. So, so I'm going to be the one to call your name. So when I call your name, you unmute and speak. Let's do that. So I'm going to just do it sequentially based on the names of the participants I have on the screen. in the Zoom meeting. So, but if I'm done and I didn't call your name, then you can mention your name. So we'll just do that quickly, maybe in the next 15 minutes. So we don't eat too much into the time for today's training. So I'm going to start with Abdullahi Ipai. Abdullahi Ipai.
Good evening, man. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my name is Ipaye Abdullahi Oluwamuyiwa. I'm a student of University of Lagos. I'm studying medicine and surgery. And I was so inspired by anything you held the last time, talking about the importance of artificial intelligence. And I look forward to seeing how I can use artificial intelligence to find solutions to problems in my area. That's medicine and surgery. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdullahi. Thank you very much. I'll go next to Celestine Ilo. Oh, sorry.
Hello?
Hello. Okay, yeah, you can go on. Celestine.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I'm Ilo Celestine Somadina. I'm a student of University of Nigeria in Nsukka. I would love to use the idea or the concept of AI in research. I love research so much, and I'm basically working on a research program. So I think the AI concept will be of valid help to me. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Celestine. I'll call on Adeaga Olasunkomi.
Good afternoon. My name is Adeaga Olasunkomi. My course of study is political science education. So I teach with Lagos State government. So right from the time that I was employed in Lagos State, I've been working in one I've been working on one ICT program or the other. Like we have the one that is called EMIS, we have the one that is called EPA. So I'm really interested in switching from my political science knowledge and to information technology. So that is why I am interested in this artificial intelligence. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I'll call on Akim Bobola Anila.
Okay. Good evening, ma. Yes. I study in University of Ibadan. I study medicine and surgery. So why I'm interested in AI is because I want to carry out researches. So I believe that data collected during researches can be applied to actually solve problems with the help of AI. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm interested in the program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll call now on Daniel A. I don't know what it is. I'm seeing Daniel Ademola Daniel A.
Yes, good
Daniel.
evening, ma.
Good evening.
Yes. Okay. Yes, the A stands for Adaramola. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, I can hear you. Go.
Okay. A stands for Adaramola. My name is Daniel, and I studied transport management technology in Federal University of Technology, Akure. I'm no longer in school for now, but okay. So right from I studied transport management technology, and I'm looking to build a career in management. So the application of AI and management skills will actually help as well. And I have a flair for computer stuff and everything. I do graphics design. I build website, the basic though, not the major CS plus and all of that. I just stopped halfway. So I'm looking forward to developing myself both in both areas, so I can do more and exploit more. Thank you very much.
Okay. I would like to call on Emmanuel Unigwe. Thank you, Daniel. Emmanuel, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, ma.
Yeah, good afternoon.
My name is Manuel. Yeah, I'm a medical student in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I'm interested in public health and also, I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on, please.
And also incorporating technology into the healthcare system. So that's basically why I'm here, because I need to like solidify my ground in AI. So that is why I'm here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'll call on George Stephen.
Hello, ma. Okay. Good evening, ma. My name is George Stephen. I'm a student of Federal University of Technology, Mina. Currently studying agri and resource engineering. I'm also a member of IET on campus community in Futmina for students. Growing up, I seriously love anything computers, anything tech, anything mobile devices, and so on. And
sorry, what did you say you're studying again?
Okay, agri and bioresource engineering.
Okay.
Yes, so I actually love computers and mobile device, and finding myself studying agri and bioresource engineering, I was looking for a way that I could actually apply tech to solve agri related and thriving issues, especially in Nigeria and Africa.
Okay. Thank you very much. Ibo Ada. Sorry if I'm not calling your name well. Ada.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, ma. My name is Ibo Ada Vivian. I'm a business manager, I'm a digital creator, I'm also a digital marketer. I'm very interested in this training because I believe it's going to be very impactful in my career. I believe I'm going to learn a lot, and I believe it's going to help reshape my direction.
Okay, thank you. I'll call on James Daramola. James Daramola.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm a computer engineering student of University of Ilorin. So, and right from my 100 level, I've developed interest in artificial intelligence. So, and in the field of artificial intelligence, I found interest in machine learning and deep learning. So, and how it can be applied to what I'm studying here, robotics and embedded system. So I'm highly interested in artificial intelligence for robotics and embedded system. So, and thank you for offering us this opportunity. It's something I will greatly treasure. Are you with
You're
me?
welcome. Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. Miriam Akpan.
Good evening.
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good evening. My name is Miriam and
Can you speak up louder a bit?
I'm an aspiring university. Okay, sorry. I'm an aspiring student of Calabar to study economics. It's not really my dream too, but I did art, so I can't really venture into computer because of what I did in secondary school. So I really want to venture into computer, but I can't do that in university because I did art, and I'm really happy that I've gotten this opportunity because it's like a head start for me. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Miriam. Who else haven't I called yet? Shola. Oh, sorry. Olua Bukola Shoyemi. Bukola Shoyemi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I studied political science at the at National Open University of Nigeria, and I've worked in finance department for a while now. So I want to switch profession. That's why I'm interested in artificial intelligence.
Okay. Oluwaseun Ogunlana.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Oluwaseun Ogunlana, and I work in the blockchain industry, mostly in the area of the decentralized finance. And then I'm currently building a crypto project as well. So I love innovation and I love to apply creativity into whatever I do. So I'm trying to see how I can implement AI into my field of practice. So thank you for the opportunity, ma'am.
Yes, you're welcome. Shola, Shola, no, I can't spell Shola.
Okay, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Ayani Shola. I'm a graphics designer, I'm a video editor, and also I'm into content creation, everything related to digital marketing. I'm interested in this course because I've always loved IT, and I've seen AI being the future of IT. Apparently, everybody's going to get into that space one day. So it's better to get knowledge now and move fast in between. So that's why I'm on this call. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're spot on. You're right on that. Success Ajibola. Success Ajibola, is it? Success Ajibola. Okay, let's move to Tunji Suli. Tunji Suli.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, house. I'm Tunji Suli, or Suli Abedola Tunji. I'm really interested in this training because I'm open to knowledge. I'm a graduate of underwater welding at PTI, from PTI, Petroleum Training Institute, Warri. So I'm just open to knowledge in order for me to invest. That's why I'm here. To go to knowledge, to heart, and to invest. Thank you.
Thank you. Your mindset, open to knowledge, and there's no age boundary to that. And innovation, I said there's no age boundary to being open to knowledge. In fact, learning is lifelong. So long as you are breathing, you keep learning and you keep improving. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. In the mailage, Yes, you can go on.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Okay, my name is Indi Melechine Confidence. I'm a recent graduate of the University of Port Harcourt, where I studied political science. So I work with Number, a fintech company, and I think I would like to go in that aspect in the fintech world. So that's why I think I want to use the business, to really help my knowledge in computer, because I don't really have knowledge of it because of my course of study. But I want to use this as an edge to grow in that aspect, and I believe I will do really well.
Yeah, you will.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chair. It seems like I've called everybody, but Success was not available to speak. If he's available, you can unmute and speak. And if there's anybody I've not called, okay, I'm saying Oluwabukola Shoyemi. No, I've called that name. Okay, so is there anybody I've not called? You can unmute and speak if I've not called you.
You have not called me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Please, I can see your name, so you can go on. Please speak. Ali Moshud.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Ali Moshud by name. I'm just an undergraduate student now at Obafemi Awolowo University.
Okay.
I'm interested in something like automobile engineering, and the reason why I joined this training is that I want to apply. Before I like something like all this like artificial intelligence, embedded system designs, all those things, and I want to apply it in automobile, and that is why I'm joining this. Since I have no knowledge of all these things before, now this is just the starting point for me.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm taking notes actually as you guys are speaking. So I have 17 people that have spoken. So yeah, okay, yeah, I've not called that. Good afternoon, Mr. Adewale. Please go on.
Yeah, my name is Adewale, and I joined this program. I'm a graduate of accounting, Ekiti State University.
Okay.
So I joined this program all because I want to use the knowledge to impact my career in the financial world.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Any other person?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, Success.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Success Ajibola.
Okay.
Okay, yes. I'm a student of sociology at the University of Illinois at 411.
Okay, so what's the name?
Okay. I joined this to gain more knowledge in the tech world, because I would love to explore the tech world and how I'll be able to manage my finances as well.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Any other person? Okay, so I have 18 people that have spoken. I don't think there's any name I'm seeing here that I've not called. Okay, so good. Okay, someone is just joining, Bokido Madrid. So maybe towards the end of the class, I'll take the profile of people I don't have a profile. I would like us to actually start now. Like you started actually, because this is also very important for me. So I'm going to share my screen and then we'll go into the talk of the day. So I like the fact that we are very diverse. diverse. The class is really, really diverse, which is good. And this training, of course, is not going to cover everything that everybody is interested in. But the beautiful thing about it is that is also going to open up our thoughts and our mind to exploring more. And I'm happy that I'm able to listen to you talk about your foundation, that's your career, and then your interest. This kind of also helps me to structure my training as we go on. And somehow I will try to touch on the different interests of everyone because just like I said earlier in my introduction, tech space is very versatile and also very rounded. So you must just find a niche, find that space that is your own and that also falls in line with your interest so as to be able to focus and be able to be very effective in the tech space. You can't do everything. You can't be everywhere. You can't be doing embedded systems, sensors, and at the same time you are doing machine learning, doing data analysis. One of my mentors actually used to tell me that know little of everything, but know something very well. And that's also the kind of person I am. So all these fields, all these areas of interest that you guys have mentioned, even blockchain too is also part of AI. I have an idea of all these things, but I'm not an expert in all of this area, right? And that's how you should be. You should have an idea of all these things by being open to knowledge, by being willing to learn, by interested in finding out things, doing research. Research is not until when you are within the four walls of university, no, or school. The internet is available now for everyone to do research. In fact, everybody does research on internet now. Even in the academic world, they go to the internet to do research. So the internet is an available resource for everybody. Even people without formal education now can go online and become who they want to be in tech space. So that's how interesting it is now. So I see it as an opportunity for everyone, and everybody is needed in the tech space. So I usually do not like to position tools first before people. I actually like problem solving, idea creation, and when you are able to be someone who can solve problems, who can create ideas, then you can fit it into your own space, know what problems you want to solve, and then with that, you can find the relevant tool that helps you to create or solve that problem, or the relevant resource in people that helps you to create or solve that problem. Some founders of startups of fintech, some of them are not tech gurus. They only know how to express their ideas, and they know how to position it properly such as they create products and solve problems. So in the tech space, what really matters is the results, the outputs, the problems that you are solving. So I actually want us to have that at the back of our mind, and that's going to, and on that note, I'm going to kickstart what I have to share with us today, and then the Alpha 5, Alpha Anywhere space. So I'm going to start with a quick talk, and then just about 10 slides or 9 slides, and then we do some practicals on Alpha Anyway. Just to mention, for the sake of the training, for us to be free and open, be able to talk and all that, you can just address me by OPE, like OPE. You understand? As in everyone, let's just address by first name and avoid the ma and ma and ma. I'm with you. We are all very cultural. We are all together, but just for us to operate freely on the training level and on training platform, you can just call me okay. I appreciate all of us in the training room. I can tell that a number of people are far older than I am. And I know, I can also tell that some people are younger than I am. But then, when it comes to ideas, we can just we can just operate on the same level and just flow with ideas. And this is also going to continue on the platform. Of course, you should show respect by your conduct, but then let's just be free. And if there are things that are popping up that you want to share, or even going forward, if you want to form a team from this group on the platform, maybe towards the end of the training, you want this to continue, you have an idea you want to explore, you want to form a team, feel free to discuss those ideas on the platform. Feel free to identify people that you think can work together with you on maybe a research project you're working on, or maybe a startup idea that you have in mind and things like that. And also even towards the projects for the prizes on this training, I want us to actually work together as a team. I want us to collaborate. So if you are working on a project or something, you could try to collaborate, try to fine tune what you are doing with members of the team and things like that. It will really, really help. Remember in that first training, I talked about collaboration. Collaboration is very good. And having a team, working in teams is also very, very important. So today's training is actually on alpha software. I'm happy many of us have installed the software, but if you are having challenges, we'll resolve that maybe over the weekend. I've actually been very busy, so I couldn't attend to the messages on the WhatsApp group, but maybe later or on Saturday, I might have free time to see what's going on. But then I'm sure there might just be issues with system capabilities and things like that. But if you follow through with the guide on the link I sent to you for installation, then it's fine. So let me go straight into what I have for us today. Okay, please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You can see.
Just say yes. Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, good. So on my screen, my main talk or my main talk for us is developing from design to prototype. And then we are also going to try out a few things on alpha software before we wrap up for today. So from software design to prototype. So actually the main thing is the design part. So from design, how do you take an idea from design to prototype? And what is even the essence of prototype? Yeah, so software design is actually the way you envision a problem or a product or something you want to create, right? So it's also the process of converting those ideas that are in your head, right, to something that people can they can see or they can feel, right? So imagine a banking process. Imagine a banking process as a problem that, oh, I have to go to the bank, I have to meet the counter, I have to pay money to the counter, then the counter deposits it into my account. And I see that as a problem. And then I envision a banking application that can do that for me. So that's an idea to a product, right? So I just use a product that we are all familiar with now, because these days people even hardly go to banks, because you can do virtually anything you do in the bank on your mobile app, right? So that's like an idea into a product. Now, designing is two ways. It's both conceptual and both technical. Now, the conceptual, even in engineering space and all that, they also talk about design, engineering design. So design is an art that has to do with you being able to draft out a process into how it's going to work. So you're looking at, okay, this is the thought flow of solving a particular problem, right? So how is that thought flow going to flow from end to end? Now, for those of us that are working, there might be certain things at work that you look at that, oh, this thing appears like it's inefficient, or this process is daunting, it's cumbersome. Why do we have to go through this process to achieve this result? That might be something that can be an idea that you can transform into a conceptual design, right? And this design into a prototype, because it is only when it becomes a prototype that people can then understand better or can then feel the solution. But if you keep explaining it, some people might not understand. If you keep explaining it, some people in their mind may be like, oh, how do you want to achieve this? But if you can then create this into a prototype, then it can then begin to make sense to people, right? So it's very important that there is a prototype. It's very important that there is something to show an idea. And that's kind of what makes it different from people who talk and people who do. Now, when ideas come, ideas do not usually come to one person. Ideas go to many people, right? And, or maybe let me put it this way, that people see opportunities in different ways on the problems that is besetting them, right? So it is now how you're able to translate the solutions for these problems into something that people can relate with, that would really matter at the end of the day. So a good software, so design is actually very important in the world of AI, in the world of tech, or in the world of creating solutions. So I needed to, explain this deeply to us. So and a good software design also determines how your product or software or solution is going to scale at the end of the day. Because if you think through the process properly and you are able to document it and prototype it, then it makes it easier for proper implementation. Now, when I'm saying prototype, I'm not saying pictures. No, some people come up with pictures as prototype, but prototype are working solutions, right? So we're going to get there. So now, looking at ideas, just like I said earlier on, ideas are very important. Ideas come to almost everybody in different ways and at almost every time. Now, these ideas usually come from challenges or problems that are around us. And we're all going to have these different ideas based on different things that are facing us. So it might be at workplace, it might be in the research you're doing, It might be in the academic background that you have. You understand? So these are things that you can pick up on to develop a product or an invention. Honestly, those are even the basis for any product or invention. Now, with ideas, processes can be, oh no, this is not supposed to be here. So ideas actually are ways to get things done. Sorry, I'm coming. Oh, okay. So still talking about ideas. Now, ideas can be for you to improve a process or to even make a process more efficient. So ideas does not mean that it's something out of the blue. It can even be an existing process, but you have an idea of making it better. Then ideas could also be an exciting way of getting things done. It's done in a particular way, but I have an idea of how it can be done in a more exciting way. Like, I don't know if we all know this Kahoot. Kahoot is something that people use for quiz game online, and it's actually very interesting. So what makes Kahoot different from using some other quiz platform online is because of the colors, the music in the background, the fact that it shows the results of the players in graphical form. So, so that's also an idea. So ideas can come in different ways. Please, you can mute yourself. And for implementing ideas, you can implement a top-down approach or a bottom-up approach. A top-down approach, what I mean by that is it is new. It is something that is a novel idea, something that, okay, based on a new discovery in your field or in your research, you come up with a new idea. Now, idea can also be bottom-up. Bottom-up in the sense that this idea was implemented in maybe a different country or a different continent, and you're like, oh, I can customize it to work in local setting or in Nigeria this way. You understand? So that's also a bottom-up approach to crystallizing ideas. Now, many people see opportunities, but only one person takes the bold step. So just like I said, ideas comes to many people based on challenges they are facing. They might you can be in the same work environment and people are like, let's just continue doing it the same way. That's the same way we are taught to do it. No, but you are like, but this way is not efficient. There's a better way we can do it. You understand? So that's somebody seeing an opportunity in a challenge or in a problem, right? And that can also become an idea. And that one person takes the opportunity for that to creating a solution. Then the main thing about ideas is that you should crystallize and build quickly on ideas. Don't just sit on the ideas. Don't just leave it hanging, but you should crystallize and build quickly on those ideas. So it's very important that we discuss this because it's not just enough to jump into building application or into creating technology and all that. You must have a good basis and focus on what you are using tech to create. So I hope this will help you to realign your interest into ways you want to crystallize ideas and opportunities within your interest space. So, so having talked about the ideas, now, one thing that would be glaring to you in any idea is the problem. So in looking at any idea, the main thing that the first thing that will occur to you is a problem within that space. So when that problem within that space occurs to you, then that's an idea there. So now, in understanding that problem, you need to answer the two questions, what and why. What is the exact thing you want to solve? What is the exact thing you want to apply tech to do? If you're able to answer that, congratulations. Then you need to answer the next question, why. In my first webinar talk, I discussed about being able to problematize, right? This is very important because you can't solve all the problems. You must be able to define just that one thing or that exact thing that you want to do with the tech product or tech solution you are creating, right? So the problematization helps you to answer the question what and why. And the why is actually very important because it helps you to create the passion. It helps you to empathize on the challenging problems such that you now want to improve it. Now, in defining the problem, you first of all need to be elaborate on the end-to-end process of the idea. Now, you need to also keep it simple. Don't try to add everything together in one bucket. No, be focused on the exact thing you want to solve, and then look at the process end to end. Okay, this is the process, and maybe I want to shorten it. I want to shorten the process, or maybe I want to give it better value for money and things like that. These are ways that, you know, businesses and ideas, these are the pillars on which they are built. So you don't see a business or you don't see a product or a solution solving all the problems. I don't just want to teach you how to create products or how to create codes or how to create something that will wow you. No, I want you to, first of all, be able to know what exactly you want to solve, and then be able to then apply it to the tool that will help you in creating a solution for the problem you are solving. So that's the goal, and that's the aim, such that at the end of the training, we are able to have people with ideas and now creating solutions or products for those ideas. And those ideas are best known by you because it also fits into your interest, it fits into your domain knowledge, it fits into what you know, it fits into your experiences, and it fits into the kind of problems you really want to solve, right? So I've been very particular about prototype. So when you're able to define the what and why, the next thing is to create something quickly, right? And when you want to create something quickly, you are looking at a prototype. I don't like to bore people with core technical skills at first. If you want to take it deeper to the level of core technical skills, you are fine and welcome, but you need to be able to understand how to use tools, existing products to create products or solutions that are usable. So for example, there's something like Google Form for creating surveys. If Google Form can create surveys for us to carry out surveys and do research, then why would we want to go and write a web application to create a survey or to create a Google Form to collect data and information? No. So we need to understand that the main issue is not the tool or being a tech giant or tech savvy person. No, there are products now, there are tools now that are no code or low code platforms that can be used to create similar products. And users don't really want to know the technology behind the product. They just want to have something that is functional, that also appeals to them, right? So it's very important we understand that building a prototype is really very important. You understand? So in this training series, we are going to be using various platforms to build prototypes for web and mobile application, which is first few days, first 2 trainings, this week and next week. And then upper one to build chatbots, and then the next one to do data analysis. So of course, this is not going to teach you everything you want to know, but it's going to introduce you into understanding how to use tools, existing tools, to build products. Now, the product building might not, is not going to be a full-blown, full working system, but is a first version. A first version is what we call something like a prototype. Now, a prototype in this case is a working prototype, not a picked-up prototype. So a working prototype. And the essence of prototype is also to receive contributions from people who are likely to want to try out this new process that you have given them, or this new solution or product that you have given them, and then provide you feedback, and then you keep improving and improving. A prototype also is very good for people who are not very tech savvy, but have an idea. You just have that idea of something you want to do. And with a prototype, you can then explain better to someone who is of core tech skills, and that person can now build something much more elaborate for you. You understand? But I believe that there are many ideas locked up in people's different domains, different skills that they can create into products. But they are like, oh, I don't have the skills. Where will I start? Will I learn Python, Java, and this, that, that, that? And there are many, many things to learn. But I don't want you to get bored by all those things you want to learn. The main thing is, first of all, being able to translate those ideas into knowledge that can be expressed. You understand? And that is even a very good way of solving solutions. And the skills you will also acquire here are skills that can help to solve problems in any environment, or in any setting that you find yourself, because you are able to solve problems, and these solutions can then be taken further or deeper by maybe you want to now outsource it, or the company wants to now outsource that and then create something that is much more elaborate. So that's very key in understanding how to work in the tech space. Just like I said, tech space is for everybody, but solving problems is individualistic, and then we can then take it further to creating something bigger to that can improve that product. So everything I've explained is actually summed up in what we call design thinking. If you've not heard about this before, you might go and read more about it later on. But design thinking is the new way to think in this new age. You must be able to empathize, you must be able to define the problem, then you must be able to ideate, create prototype, and you can then do further testing. So that's it about software designing, understanding the concept of design from the software perspective. Just like I said, they are designing other fields as well, but understanding the concept of design from software perspective, and then being able to translate this design into prototype. So now that I've been able to explain that concept to us, I would like us to go into creating simple prototype. Prototype in this case are working prototype. So I'm going to log on now to my Alpha Anywhere software, and I'm going to show you how to navigate on Alpha Anywhere and understand how it works. Then I'll give you an assignment on you to also create something on Alpha Anywhere against our next class. Our next class is going to be next week, but there's going to be a catch-up class on Saturday. So the catch-up class on Saturday, I'm going to see what you guys are doing on Alpha Anywhere, and then I'll also offer some more guide. And if there are also installation issues, we're also going to close that gap between maybe on Saturday when we meet, or but I'll try to respond to you on WhatsApp platform by Saturday. So before we meet on Saturday, maybe we should have resolved all of that, and we'll have a catch-up class on Saturday. But what I'm most particular about is the concept of design thinking that I've explained to you. Most times, development, acquiring IT skills is individualistic. You need to sit down and really learn. Like, you need to watch videos, you need to try out these things yourself as well, try to recreate what they created and really learn. The time for the class is not going to do all that for you. But my main purpose as a trainer is to introduce you to this knowledge area, show you how to navigate, show you how to go about it, and show you how it works, inspire you, and then you also do more. And I'll also come in intermittently to guide you and to maybe offer you some advice on how to improve on whatever you are learning or whatever you are working on. So, but I really wanted to set the foundation right on understanding the concept of software design. So before I go into showing my Alpha software platform, let me just quickly tell you about the features. I didn't want to bore you with starting off with coding. No, that's not the main essence. I'm not here to teach you coding. Coding is not something you acquire like immediately. It's something that requires passion, effort, and time. So I can see we have some people who have some good technical skills, and probably they're even already coding. So if you want to learn further coding, Alpha Software also has an environment where you can code, but it's a platform that anybody and everybody can use to develop software applications. So that's why I chose Alpha Software. There are also other platforms like that, but I actually chose Alpha Software because it's very robust and very easy to learn. So it's a no code and low code environment. So when we say no code simply means that you can do the same, you can create the same thing a programmer or a software developer will create by just dragging and dropping. Drag and drop means you are just picking pictures or controls. We call it controls, but they are like picture-like icon. You just drag them and put them on a page, arrange them, and then it will also create something similar to what a software developer will create. And yes, you will get the slides, but the slides doesn't contain much. The slides is just a few things, but I'll send the slides to you. So then Alpha Software allows you to prototype and test, and you can deploy it quickly. You can show people that, oh, this is what I've done, blah, 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 and things like that. And it has an integrated web and mobile development. You can actually see all of these things online, but I've just, summarize them for you for the features. Now, there are also some features of Alpha Anyway that doesn't make it so great. Its UI isn't so great. So if you want to create a mobile app or a web app that looks stunningly beautiful, you need to be able to do all those tricks yourself using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I think what they've just created is something basic. But if you want it to then do more, then you need to write the client-side code yourself. And then the commercial value for development is a little expensive. I won't say it's so expensive. It's not just that. It's just that unlike if you are doing Java or C# or Android development, the hosting is much cheaper than if you are doing alpha software. But notwithstanding, the aim is not to create something elaborate yet with alpha software, is to create something quickly, a prototype, a working prototype quickly that is available free. You can actually create all of that free on Alpha Anyway. It's actually called Alpha Anyway ID. So that's why you see me saying Alpha Anyway, Alpha Anyway. So they have two. They have Alpha Anyway, they have Alpha Transform, but our focus is on Alpha Anyway. So those are the features of Alpha Anyway. And for you to really get the best from Alpha software, this is what I propose that you do. Most of you have installed or you are still in the process of installing, then you're still going to do a lot of more development yourself. I'm going to introduce you to the application, how it works today. But you are still going to do a lot of personal development yourself. And then you can also join the forum. They have a forum, a very robust forum, where you can ask questions. You can also see how people have solved questions, past questions. Then they have a webinar, they have like weekly sessions. So if you think, oh, you enjoyed Alpha Anyway and you really want to build more with it, then you can do their webinar from time to time. But my main aim is that you can use Alpha Anyway to build quickly, build solutions quickly, to then test the solutions with users and then keep improving. And if you are the code type and you want to improve it more, there is a code environment for Alpha Anyway. It uses X-basic code. X-basic code is very similar to C#. Except that it doesn't use the end line tag, the semicolon that ends every C# line of code. It doesn't use that. So if you want to code, you are welcome to learn X-basic and code more and develop something robust with Alpha Anyway. So that's that on Alpha Anyway. So I'll just like that to listen and watch. You might not, I don't want you to do the answer as I'm doing it. It will not be effective that way. So I'm just going to show you Alpha Anyway, show you how it works. You listen to it, watch it. I'll create a quick demo app within the space of the time we have left. We still have like 50 minutes left. So I'll create that and then I'll send you the slides and you can go online between now and Saturday and create something, or by Saturday I'll see how far you've gone and we can do a cut by Saturday. So do we have any questions while I'm bringing up my Alpha Anyway? If you have any question, you can unmute and speak, and then we'll have a demo session on Alpha Anyway. I have to stop sharing as to bring up my Alpha Anyway. So any question, any comments while I bring up my Alpha Anyway? Hello, are we there?
Good evening, ma. Yes, ma. Yes, ma. My name is Ikbaedam Larry. Good evening, Miss Okwe.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask that for us that we don't have any programming background, do you think we'll be able to catch up in the class?
Okay. It's like you joined the class late, I guess. Sorry, what did you say your name is?
Ikbaye Abdullahi.
Oh, okay. No, you didn't join the class late now. I think
Yes.
you spoke earlier.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was the first person to speak.
Oh, okay. So, but if you've been listening to me, I said that I'm not here to teach you code, but I'm here to teach you tools that you can use to develop something similar that a software developer will do. And that's
Okay,
why
by
I
drag
started
and
with
drop.
explaining software design, you being able to ideate, create solutions, and then create prototypes. So, and the platforms we're using, this Alpha Anywhere platform,
Yes,
does
ma'am.
not require code. It's only, but for those who can write code, they can do something much more elaborate with it. But you can just do drag and drop and still create something very fantastic with Alpha Anywhere.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, just say thank you. Emmanuel.
Okay, ma. Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, for us that don't have that haven't installed the Alpha Anywhere yet, how do we get our project ready before Saturday, or how do we start our project before Saturday?
So I'm positive and I'm hopeful that you see it resolved for Saturday and you get something. Unfortunately, I will not be able to assist you until Saturday. Maybe Saturday morning or so. I'll see if I can assist, but if not, we'll catch up. You'll still learn, but try to get the Alpha Anyway installed. Maybe you uninstall and start all over again, following the steps on the link I sent to you. And if you are having any errors, the best way I can easily assist you is to send a screenshot. So you can put a screenshot of the error you are having on the WhatsApp platform. Then that way I can know your specific problem and maybe I can quickly answer you. But if you are just saying it's not installing, I may not be able to answer you.
Okay, ma.
Thank you. Can you please mute if you are not talking? Yeah, thank you. Any other question or comment so we can start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can go on, please.
Yeah, ma'am. I think I have similar problem when I was installing the Alpha Anyway app, but there's a troubleshooting center there. They do answer similar problems like problems that occur always. So I got my answers from there. I think it would be of help to them if they could access that. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, thanks for that comment. Thank you. And that's part of tech skills. So you have to be resilient. So if there are problems, you have to find a way of, getting on it and ensuring that it gets resolved. Because even by the time you get into the real tech space, you always have problems. Even when you write code, you will see bugs. You have to face that code. You have to ensure that it works and all that. But fine, we are still making it very smooth and easy, especially for people who don't want to write code or who don't want to do add tech stuff and all that. There are platforms too that are available, right, for you to do that. But even things like installation, deployment, they sometimes come up with issues, and you must be able to use the power of forums, the power of online checks and all that to also be able to resolve issues. But then it's fine. It's also good to work as a team. This same way you throw up your issues to the team. People who have had similar issues can assist, or people who are more experienced as well can assist. So I'm very hopeful that on or before Saturday, we'll all have our file installed on our machines. Any other questions as per the training of today?
Now, wait on, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Another comment, the comment I want to make in supporting the person that just spoke, that just spoke now. I also have the same problem when I'm trying to install that alpha anyway. But how I get out of the problems, how I get the problem solved is that when the link you sent to us, when I click the link, I first need to first of all register before being able to download the Alpha Anywhere installer. Now, they message me at their customer service, they message me, and when I have problem, I message them back, this is the problem I'm having, and they guide me, as in they guide me through, I do like do this, and I follow their guide, and I install it successfully.
Oh, fantastic. I like that. Thank you. Thanks for that comment. That's very good. Okay, so I'd like us to get into Alpha Anywhere now. So just like I said, I want you to just listen and observe. Because if you need to listen and at the same time you're trying to also do the answer, you'll be distracted and you may not get the best use of this time, right? So just listen and observe the things that I will do. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am, we can see it.
Okay, so this is the Alpha Anywhere environment. It looks very blank, but when you log on as a new user, it will show up this workspace for you. But because I've been using it, it doesn't need to show this up. So it might show this up, showing you the news, this, that, everything. But these are just information to guide you on more things or news updates on Alpha Anywhere. We are going to look into this later on, maybe by next class when I'm talking about other details on Alpha Anywhere deployment for you, right? But what is most important, so you are going to see two tabs, Workspace and Task, News and Updates. The main one is the Workspace and Task. So Workspace is like a project folder. So in a Workspace, I can have multiple projects, right? Now, if I already have existing Workspace, it's going to show it to me here. This has, you won't have this brown ones, you won't have them. But so it's going to show me existing workspace here. And then if I want to create a new workspace, I have to come here. So for you to create anything on Alpha Anywhere, you need to first of all create a project folder, which is a workspace. And now within the workspace, you will now create projects. Do we get it? So the first place you need to go to create anything on your own Alpha Anywhere desktop is to come to create a new workspace. Now, there are two options. You can create a new workspace and you can, with an empty project, right? And I can also create a workspace with a template project. I'm going to introduce you first of all to the template project and then show you a new project on a workspace today before we end the class. So I'm going to start first with the template project. So the first most important window that you need on your Alpha Anywhere is the workspace, to select workspace. Other things, in fact, you'll notice that your Alpha Anywhere is looking very blank until you create a workspace. So here is just to go to, let's say you have an existing workspace and you want to go to the folder on File Explorer. You can either go to it from here or from these two folders. Then if you have a recent workspace, I can open it from here. Then this development server, I'm going to explain it to you by next week, is actually used to start and stop any existing deployment that you have. I'm going to explain it to you next week. But basically, that's what this menu here is all about. And then this file is just the same usual file name, new, open, existing workspaces. The view settings, you can view the settings of your installed application here. So there's a free license. I'm also on the free license. Let's say you now want to change the paid license, you can change that here. And some other settings, you can change the font, you can change the colors, but leaving it at default setting is fine. So you can leave it at default setting. So I'm just going to say this. Did I leave it at default setting? Oh, okay. Yes. So so the tools, the development server is used to start and stop deployment that you've made. So don't bother about all of this actually. They are just regular menus. The most important thing is the workspace, creating a workspace. So you actually start off on Alpha software by creating a workspace. So let's start with the template, the workspace with template application. Now, so you can use Alpha Anywhere for both mobile and web application, just like I said earlier on. And so for us to pick up on any demo mobile application, we can use this template, or we can use this template for web application. Then if you want to also see a demo on how to deploy quickly your application, you can look at the application server demo. So it's very straightforward. In fact, the first place to learn on your Alpha Anywhere is to start off with the demo and understand how it works. Then watch videos and tutorials. That's how to quickly learn on Alpha Anywhere. So let's look at a demo. Let me start with a demo mobile application. So if I click on this demo mobile application, you can just leave this folder setting to the default. What it will simply do is to create the template into this folder, but you can just leave it at default and then say OK. So in my own case, I've created recent ones before, so I can just say I don't want it to overwrite. So you can see it says copying files to the target folder. So it's going to create a demo web application for me. Okay, so now on this demo web application, now you can see it as fully loaded this environment. I'm going to explain the menus, the environment for you, and then you can have an idea on how it works. So we have our menu, we still have our file menu. Now you see that the file menu contains projects. You can add new projects to the workspace. The workspace is like a folder for projects. Please don't forget that. So if I create a new project, it will add it to my workspace, right? So, and if I want to see a list of the projects on my workspace, I can see it from here. From, okay, I think it used my existing, okay, sorry, I'm going to do this again. I wanted to create a default one. Let me just change this. So you can create a default one. Okay, create new folder, number. In your own case, you can use the default folder, but in my own case, I just want to create a default one. I mean, create a new one. Okay, so it's going to create it here, right? Okay, good. So this is the templated, the mobile app created based on the Alpha Anywhere template, right? So I hope you can see my screen. Is it too small? Are the fonts too small? Let me see if I can increase the view. Can I increase this view? Okay.
I think you can do that on accessibility from the start from your computer.
Where is accessibility?
Maybe you should click start on your computer, ma. So I think it can enlarge the font of the whole stuff.
Oh, okay. But I can't even. Will I have to stop share? Let me stop share and see. I'm actually not getting that. But if you can see the screen, it's fine. Maybe we'll just manage it like that. Because I went to my start screen and I typed accessibility, but it's showing me a folder. So
you can try ease of access. Ease of access.
Okay. Okay. Ease of access brightness setting.
You can check the display settings, ma, or maybe something like magnifier, something like that. And
Okay. Okay. I think that's it. Okay, great. Thank you. So, okay. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Let me see if that will make any change. No, it doesn't make any change.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let me just hope that you can see, you can manage to see my screen.
Ma, I think you can also check the view on the Alpha Anywhere app. When you
Yes,
go to
that's
view,
what I was trying to do. I was trying the view on the Alpha Anywhere app, but it wasn't. Let me try that again.
Okay. Okay. When I went to view, I went to settings, then I saw font, current font.
I've seen a setting here. On the display area, man.
System font.
You will see something like make everything bigger.
System font. Yes.
Hello, man.
Current
Okay.
font.
No, let me try this Alpha Anywhere one.
Then you increase the current
system
font. You click select. No, increase. You click select. Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, I think it's better now.
Okay, if you say so, but I didn't put that name. But then let's go on. So just have in mind that when you get Alpha Anywhere, when you open your Alpha Anywhere application, create a sample workspace that has a template. Then for you to, first of all, wow your interest, these templates that you have created, let's see what it looks like. For you to see what it looks like, click on live test. So just say, okay, don't bother about the details. But you might choose to read the details. I already know what's in the details, but I just want to show you what you can, sample of what you can create quickly with Alpha Anywhere. Oh, did I do live test? I think it should be demo test. Sorry. Oh. Sorry, I always have to stop and share for me to okay, so let me show it to you this way. Okay, yeah, publish. Okay, I don't want the one. I'm coming. It's requesting for a database, an attached database for this particular one. Okay, no problem. Database. Okay. I'm going to explain this to you, but I don't want, it's requesting for a connection to database, and I don't want to bring that up for you now. I just want a simple template that doesn't connect to a database. So I will figure this out before Saturday, but I want to show you something working actually on Alpha Anywhere in today's class. So let me try this other web contact manager. I want the one that is not connecting to database. Okay, let's create a demo from scratch without needing a database. So if we're doing a new one from scratch, we're going to use this empty workspace, right? So say okay, then you create the location for your folder for the workspace. So I can leave it at this default location, or I can change the folder to any place I want it to be on my laptop, right? So this is just creating the workspace. The workspace is very important. Is the folder for your project. So I'm going to give it a name. Let's call it just day practice. So it will create this also as a folder. That's what it means by directory in this location. So having clicked OK, if I go to this path, I'm going to find the same folder there. So I'll just say OK. Now let me see. Okay, let's deal with that later. Okay, so now on a fresh page, this is what Alpha Anywhere looks like. So Alpha Anywhere allows you to create components. The drag and drop that I mentioned, they are all called web components. So you find those web components here, and you also find all different kinds of web components here as well. So the first one I want you to learn and learn very well is web components. You can create HTML pages. You can create alpha pages, alpha 5 pages, CSS style sheets, and many other things. But for a starter, what you really need is the web component. So create your workspace. You can use a default project. So this is my project. The name is default. I can choose to create a new project if I don't want default. So if I want a new project, I would come here and say new project. So I can give it a name. I can say my first project. And then click OK. Now you see that the name, my first project, appears here. So under a workspace, you create a project, then you add components. That's how Alpha Anywhere works. So immediately you create a workspace, actually, a default project is added for you. So this is the default project, and I can choose to create a new project. So you must always know the project you are on. So on my project, I can then add web components. So if I want to add a new web component, I'll click on web components. And then click on new. So when you click on new, it will take you to all the different kinds of web components on Alpha Anywhere. So the web components are the functions that you use in dragging and dropping. So I'm going to say next. So the different types of web components you can see UX, you can see grid. You can also create a login control using the web component. So let's start with the UX, which is the first web component. The UX component displays very well on mobile and on grid. So if I want to create anything that has to do with mobile, if that prototype will display on mobile, then I need to use a UX component. Now, a grid is something like your table. So if you want to create something that has to do with multiple rows and columns, or that has to do with people making input into something like a table, then I can use a grid. If you want to create, so I will try out these web components. Let me, instead of explaining them, let me just pick the first one and then let's try that web component. Okay, so the web components, you can choose to use a blank web component, and you can also choose to create a component from templates. So the templates here do not come with data; they just come with how will I put it? They just come with an arrangement of what your component should look like. So I would usually like to start off with showing you what it looks like. So maybe we'll just start with one of the templates. So if you have to pick either start with a blank US component or start with templates. So let's click on this, which is a template, and then let's pick on one of them. Let's pick on customer simple, and let's see. So with this, you can ignore this. You can just come to the controls. This is just giving you an information, but you can see this is under UX component. If you want to see the controls, you click on controls. So the information displayed was just an overview, right? This is the overview. So when you're on Alpha Anywhere, you need to be conversant with the menus on your left. So these menus on your left are the guide to the displays that you will see on your right here. So if you want to change whatever display you are seeing, you can just click on the various menus on your left. So for this UX component, which is one of the most powerful components on Alpha Anywhere, you can be able to, what's happening? Okay. Is someone trying to say something? Adeaga? There is a mistake. Okay, so with these controls, you can be able to create previews or prototypes that would feed into data or even collect data from the for the software for the application. So like I said, this UX allows you to create a component both for web and mobile, and Alpha Anywhere allows you to connect to data storage platforms like your database and the rest of that. So like the template we're trying to create the other time, it's connected to Northwind online database, but for some reasons I was having issues with displaying that template. So now we are creating a new one. So like I said earlier on, the menus on the left are very important. We are just on one component now, the US component. So now the US component contains different controls, right? And for you to see those controls, you just click on controls here. These are controls that are loaded for you on default based on the fact that we're using a template component. Now, if you want to see what it looks like, you can just come here to click on working preview. So on your working preview, you can see that even without you doing any code, you have created a template form for collecting customer details like their names, their companies, their address, blah, blah, blah. So this is a simple component on Alpha Anywhere that is prebuilt that you can use to do that. So you can see what the working preview looks like, and you can even test this and submit. So let's say I want to test this. So because we haven't tied this to a database that's collecting the information, that's why we're unable to submit. But this is just a simple thing you can create quickly with US components and see how it works. You can also do a live preview. So with live preview, you can do a demo deployment. And this is what you can use to do a quick deployment in Alpha Anywhere. But let's go back to our web design, our design. So with this, this is a templated component that collects information about customers. And if I want to tie it to a data end, to the data, to do some data binding, I come to the data binding menu, and then I create a data environment where my data can go to. So for this now, I can come here and create new tables to match the controls on my component. So click on new tables, then you come here, you define the tables. So instead of you having to define it yourself, it has already defined it for you. So here, these are variables for each of the fields of the data that you are collecting and the character specification. If I want to change it, I just click on any one of the fields, and then I can come here to change it, right? And if I want to add a new field, I can come to add properties here to add a new field. But I just want to maintain the same fields that I have. So I'm going to continue to step 2. No, I don't want a table alias. Okay, so I go on to step 2. Okay. 50. So normally when creating a database for your application, this is what you would do using any data platform. Like you create the place where the data will go to. But here it's already created for you. All you just need to do is to do the click for it to finally create the table at the back end. Okay, so this is the data environment I wanted to create. And then I can say just create a table for me. Must this be SQL? Okay, so you can actually connect this to a database, like a SQL database. But I don't want it to use a SQL database, but let's just use a demo database for now. So this is the Alpha Anywhere demo database. So we just do the click, and we are fine. Same as, oh, okay. Yeah, so create a table. My customers is same as, yeah. Is there anything missing? No. Specify the alias. Same as the same alias now. Okay, so create table. Okay, so now that we have created the table settings, we can close this, and then you can now bind the control to your table. So now if we save whatever information, it will go into that table. So it has created the table for us under the demo database in Alpha Anywhere. So if I go to my working preview now, and ideally this would not be needed, this would save on its own. So this should have been saved. Let's see. Mind your controls. Done. Done. So you can see that with this, you can easily create a form control to collect data information in a web format using Alpha Anywhere. We can also create other controls. Now, let me show you how to create these controls now by yourself instead of using the template controls. We have bound this to controls. Let's see. Okay, so you can also create this in mobile form. Like I said earlier on, that this allows you to integrate easily to web and mobile. So the default on Alpha Anywhere is web application. So for you to create it into a mobile application, just check this mobile box. So once I check this mobile box and I do a working preview, it will show it in a mobile form. So you can see this is the same information, but in a mobile form, right? Using a template UX. Where we have spent some time, but let me create a blank UX page for us instead of using the template control. So to create a blank one, you go back to your controls. So we go back to controls. Oh, sorry, we're still on the same UX. So we want to create a new UX control. So we have to close this. So you close this. I don't want to save the changes, so I'll say no. So once I close, it brings me back to my project, but to where I can select controls, right? So I'm still in the same project, my default project. And then under my web components, I'll click on new. So you select web components, then you click on new up. So I'm going to click the same web component again, a UX component, and I will not click on this button. I'm going to leave it at the first one, which allows me to create a blank component. So on that blank component, I'll say, okay. Right, so unlike the first one that had controls loaded, this does not have any control loaded under my UX component. So under my UX component, I want to create new controls. So I'm going to go to the list of controls under it, right? And then I will add new control. So I'm going to talk about the different controls quickly and how to work with those controls. Now, the different controls that we have text box, text area, drop down. I'm just going to pick a few control and then we see how it works. So I'm going to start with the text control. So let's say I want to create something similar to what I saw in that template. So I'm going to just come here, drag and put the control on the page. So click on the control. So you can create a control multiple times or just a single control. But for now, I want a single control. So I'll click create a single new control. I'll give it a name. So I can say TXT name or name, just something to identify with what I want the control to do. You can give the name and the label the same name. The difference is that the name is the name of the control. The label is what is displayed on that control when it is shown. And if you don't want anything displayed on it, you can clean off the label. But I want to show you how the label works. So I'm going to leave whatever is there. So let's leave it there. Then depending on what you want the control to show, do you want it to show, are you collecting names or you are collecting number, or you want the control to collect dates? So you can specify that here. So if you want it to be a date control, if you click on date, it will show a pop-up of dates for users to pick up dates. But in this case, we want just a simple control, one character. Then this break after control is going to, if there's a break after control, it will take the next control to a new line. If there's no break after the control, it will display all the controls on a straight line. So we can choose to put a break or leave out the break. So let's put the break. So break after the control. So if there's a break after the control, it will show with this little symbol that you see here, right? And yeah, you can come and customize other things about the control, how you want the control to show. If you want some validation of the control, if it's a password control and you don't want the text to display when people are typing on it, you come here and check the password button. If you want the control to, so there are many interesting properties of the control here, but let's just leave it for now. But you can check out the different the properties. But let's just make it simple. Let's just pick a simple control. So I want to create a panel. I want to create a control, a component that has control of collecting name and first name and surname. So let's put it that way. Let's say first name and surname. The next, I'll create another control. What's it called? So add this again. So this is the second one. So this text box 2. This is just a name. You can call it anything. So I can say surname for surname. Display surname. Right. So I just say okay. So sorry, let's change this to okay. CXC first name. Okay, good. So first name, surname, and then I want it to add a submit button. So I just come here, click on look for button. you can filter here. Yeah, so that's my button control. So I just click on button. Okay, so I don't want my button to appear here. I can use these arrows to take it up or down. So I'll use this arrow to bring it down. I want it to appear below the name and surname. So let's see what it looks like. If you come to working preview, you are going to see how it will display. So you can see how it will display. So this will be for your first name, second name. Sorry. So if I want it to have a label, I can also come here and say add control, add a label. So label. So label is just to display text. So I say label. The label, I don't want it to be below the name. So I want it to go up. So take it up, right? So there's label, there's name, first name, surname. Now, because there's a line break between label and name, this is how it then display. So you can see how your whatever we display. Okay, we've not put the text there. Let's put the text quickly to our label. So what do we want our label to display? That would be under value or text. So first name. Right, so let's see what it will look like. Right, so ideally you are not supposed to have a line break between your label and your first name, because you want it to you want your user to be able to know that this text box is for them to type in their first name. So I'm going to go back to my design, and after label I'll say remove breakpoint. I want to remove this break. So to do that, I can double click on label so it will show me its properties, or right click and say go to the properties from here. So I'll say remove break after control. So you can see break here. So if you say none, right? So if you say none, it will then show label, then first name afterwards. Then we also want another label after surname. Let's just see quickly what it will look like. So you can see you have first name, you have your control. So this to say, okay, this is how I want this to be displayed. So let's just quickly add another label and then do this submit before we end this class. So to add another label, you go to add control again and then label. At first, on Alpha Anywhere, it looks like there are too many things going on. But once you master it, Alpha Anywhere is very simple and interesting to use. So I'm going to say, okay, this label 2, but this is what I wanted to display. I wanted to display surname. And then is a character type. I remember we don't want a break after control, so I will uncheck this. But of course, even if I don't uncheck it, I can always uncheck it later. Then I can also change the alignment of my label position. I can say right, left, and all that. I'll prefer it to be left, so it's closer to the I'll like it is closer to the edge. So this label for surname, this should go up. Then for this, let's change the alignments. Okay, so we'll come back to that. So let's just see what this looks like now. This looks better. So first name, surname, and then you have the button with which you can submit. And you can even view this in mobile form. And what you see is what you get with Alpha Anywhere. What I have here, I can as well deploy quickly to a mobile and test if I go to my live preview. And this testing, you can even test with people that can also use the app as well. So I'm going to show you how to do this by next week. So this is just an introduction, really. I would like to stop here. This is an introduction to show you how to navigate the environment of Alpha Anywhere. I'll require that to watch I'll require that you visit their website to watch details on it, and also try out those steps in those videos. There's a particular video for my first app. It's titled My First App on Alpha Anywhere. So watch that video. It's similar to what I've done, but it's much more elaborate. Watch the video, try to recreate what they've created. Now that you are familiar with the menus, the environment, how it works, the controls, and all that, you being able to reproduce what they have in my first video for Alpha Anywhere. My first app on Alpha Anywhere will be very easy for you. That video is just a hello world for any platform you want to share. So what it's try to recreate what is there. That's an assignment for you. Then on Saturday, I'm going to catch up on what we've been able to do with Alpha Anywhere, and also show you my own demo app that I've created. I actually have some apps that I've created on Alpha Anywhere. Maybe I can just show that to you quickly. But I want you to be able to try it out as well yourself. But let me open my own existing workspace and just show you something existing. Where is this app? And I'm going to show you a demo app I created. Practice. So that this error is just showing because it wants me to upgrade, but that's not an issue. Okay, so this is a demo app I created on Alpha Anywhere. I'll just go to my UX component and show it to you quickly so that you can see the beauty of Alpha Anywhere. But just like I said, the training time is not enough. You also need to do a lot of this on your own, and then talk with you on how you can improve. So this is a quick demo app I created. You can see, so on this app, you can create a new record of, okay, information, save. I can even add photos. Okay, so so on the live preview of this, I can add a new photo. So this is very simple mobile app that I created. You can see this, and this is created from the video I said you should watch. That's my first demo app. So if you watch that video, right, you can create a simple mobile or web application on Alpha Anywhere. Now, you can see the controls the same way they are arranged. So these are the things that you learn as craft. But the beauty of Alpha Anywhere is that you are not writing code. You are just dragging and dropping, putting the controls on the page. You are setting the preview, see how it works, and you can build and deploy quickly Alpha Anywhere. So we are going to end the class here. Sorry I took extra time, but I I'm sure you're a bit more familiar with the environment of Alpha Anywhere now, and with 1 or 2 videos and practice on your own, you should be able to create something simple to start with on Alpha Anywhere. And it requires you to actually try out this practice on your own. So please do. I will send you the slide and possibly check for that link for the My First Mobile app and send it to you so you don't have to do it. But aside that video, you can watch more videos if you have more time. But at least that video, that's the assignment I have for you since Saturday. So I'm going to stop sharing now. I don't know if there are questions before we call it a day today. And we'll see on Saturday. Any questions?
Well done, man.
Thank you. Any questions?
No question, ma'am.
Any comments? I hope the class has not been too boring. I know when I'm taking classes like this and I go into technical stuff, the class becomes a bit tired. I hope you have been able to learn 1 or 2 things, but the real learning comes when you try this on your own. And of course, I'm available to guide you. And that's why for the first 3 classes, I created an extra time for us to practice. So any questions or comments?
Okay. Hello, ma. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. I have a question. Okay.
Yeah.
My question is that on the Alpha Anywhere, from what you just showed us now, is more like a drag and drop and more like a preset template. So my question is that instances now where maybe one wants to include additional code now, something like for those forms, something like maybe HTML or CSS, how do one go about that?
Sorry, can you come again? You said HTML and CSS.
Okay, instances now where one wants to add additional code to customize those templates now, because from what I'm seeing, it looks more like a front end of a web, of which works with HTML and CSS. So instances where one wants to add maybe HTML or CSS to make the design more beautiful, how do one go about that?
Oh, okay, I get your question now. So on the client side, if you look at your Alpha Anywhere, if you see events. Okay, let me just quickly share my screen so that you can see what I'm saying. Share screen. Yeah, so under events here, you see server side, you see client side. So on the client side, you can actually edit the yeah. So on the client side, you can edit the HTML. You can add HTML, action JavaScript, insert new HTML, and other things here from the client side. Let me see, interactive window. It's something I'm looking for. Okay, so you can add JavaScript here. So here, this side actually works like, these are the places you have your events. Okay, yeah. So you can execute events here, add new events on the client, on the server side here. So this works using action JavaScript. Yeah, so this is where you can do it actually from the events under server side and client side. We can explore that more as we move on in the training. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, yes, ma. Thank you very much, ma.
You're welcome. Adeaga, thanks for your comments. It requires that actually learning any platform requires practice. So especially in tech, if you want to learn anything, you need to practice. You need to do it yourself. That's the acronym DIY. You need to be able to do it this stuff yourself. It's not just about talk. Tech space is hands-on. You also need to try it out yourself and do it yourself. But the good thing with training and learning is that you see someone else doing it, and then you then try to do it yourself. You understand? So if I ask you to be doing the stuff I'm doing today as I'm doing it, it will take us a longer time, right? So I wanted you to be familiar with the environment, the controls, the menu, right? And then try to create something yourself as well. In the process of doing it, you have questions, you discover some things, and then I can as well also guide you, right? And that's the, I think that's the approach I use most times for my trainings. And yeah, it has always worked. So that way we can achieve more and can create something before the end of the class, because you are learning 3 interesting platforms. I'm sure at least 1 or 2 of them will appeal to you as we move on. But Alpha Anywhere is a very good tool. I want you to be able to learn how to create mobile apps or web apps that you can use to demonstrate an idea or bounce off an idea quickly. Yeah. Any other question? Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so if there's no other question, I can send you this slide now, and then maybe later on the WhatsApp link. On the WhatsApp platform, I'll send you the link to the what's it called? To the video tutorial I mentioned. But you can also click online. I'm sure you find that video tutorial. But then I'll send you that. I'll send you the slide now.